This group of fearless circus performers is redefining the boundaries of performance art. Navigating the patriarchal constraints of mainstream Taiwanese society, these women confront their doubts and rediscover their self-worth through the transformative power of performance.
成长阶段的很大的一个过程中，非常的不喜欢自己，慢慢靠着表演，有点像是拯救我。
This blend of synthesized electronic music with classical piano creates an unprecedented arrangement, a veritable feast for the ears.
这是完全对我而言是一个我没有训练过的脑袋的领域。遇到了这个东西之后啊，我就开始要把我从来没有被开发的大脑打开。
Two exceptionally talented female musicians lead the orchestra, performing across the globe. Under their guidance, a new chapter of artistic innovation is unfolding.
每一次出去的那种回馈，我们都会觉得，哎，好像我们走对路了，好像这就是一条不一样的路。
Hi Paris, how are we feeling today?
Get ready to rediscover an unforgettable summer where 24 Taiwanese performance groups made an impressive display in the heart of Paris. Their artistic prowess showcased the best of Taiwan with pulsating music, energetic dance, and a truly creative vibe.
In Paris, a packed outdoor bar hosts the eye-catching circus, who have been invited to watch a special performance on the other side of the world. In eccentric costumes, these women use their bodies as playful instruments, fostering a comical, joyful atmosphere. This group, Les Diez de la Fesse, combines musical theater, dance, comedy, and even striptease to achieve a satirical effect known as burlesque. For these performers, a woman's body is neither concealed nor restrained, but free to entertain others and themselves.
So, are you ready? Who's next? Tony. I will see if the big girl is ready. See you soon! Hello! Hello! There is someone? Yeah! Oh, wow! Many people! Can you show us the French way to be kinky? Yeah, of course, Manina. I tried. Okay, so...
Not the show is not all naked. There is a lot of different stuff, but and for like, actually the very important point is to make the woman feel free of all of this stuff who bring us like this, like, oh my God, cover your stuff, cover your everywhere too, because you're a girl, you're gonna excite us. Ah. No, look, we are doing that and you're not exciting, you are laughing, you're having a good time and you feel just free. It's okay, come on, relax.
Starting from the female body, the eye-catching circus continues to explore their own aesthetic style in performance, while navigating themselves within the oppressive patriarchal systems of traditional Taiwanese society.
我们现在所做的作品都是一直在讨论女性的身体，然后以及我们如何阅读女性。那我们要聊的事情是有关女性的所有的一切。
Breaking the stereotypical image of skinny, delicate Asian women, these female circus performers powerfully lift one another, forming a human pyramid. Their bodies boast a remarkable blend of both softness and strength.
因为我小时候是练倒立的，我的手臂肌肉真的蛮发达的。小时候最常被叫金刚芭比，我连去按摩的时候。 阿姨都会问我说：“妹妹，你是扛瓦斯的哦。”
In traditional Taiwanese training systems, circus performers begin training at a young age, with a strong emphasis on developing physical coordination. While living at the school, they train from morning to night under the supervision of a rigorous master who takes a highly regimented approach.
学校其实比较军事化教育，所以等于我们其实都是团体行动，按部就班的按照老师跟你说的，在做动作上面，你应该就是要这样做。
After adolescence, they hone various acrobatic skills, believing that mastery requires long-term, structured training. Famous kung fu masters like Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee were also shaped by similar training systems.
大陆很早以前在发展的东西叫杂技，这个杂技来到台湾之后，它变成加班的方式，在台湾各个以前的夜总会演出。它跟就是我们现在提到马戏其实是同义词，只是我们在东方叫杂技，在西方叫马戏。
Many traditional Chinese acrobatic skills remain part of modern circus performances. Building a chair tower is quintessentially Chinese in origin, while performers dressed as clowns are borrowed from the West. Meanwhile, doing flips and forming human pyramids give the performance a uniquely Taiwanese flair.
早期的马戏表演过去都是用动物在进行演出，一直到动保法出现之后，大家才开始摒除掉动物，就是没有，就是以人为主体当做一个演出，以更个人的方式，透过可能剧本改写，或者是透过不同的形式重新融合之后再创造。
Contemporary circus around the world blends modern dance, theater, and music. It's no longer just about entertainment, but rather about creating compelling narratives and preserving the artistic value in a performance. Eye-catching Circus launches the Performance Women series. Under the direction of performer Major Ling, contemporary circus techniques are used to explore the various challenges of womanhood they've encountered in their careers.
就是我们学校女生很多，男性在一个班里面可能的是正算少数。但这样的一个状态之下，你会发现毕业之后有一直在从事，有比较多人关注，全部都是男性表演者啊，女生去哪里了？然后我就开始思考，我以前很崇拜那些学姐呢，就开始上网搜寻，哦，转行了，哎，去当幕后工作者了，去当健身教练了，然后去做瑜伽了。以前我在学校以为只要把功夫练好，我毕业绝对找得到饭吃啦。真的踏入职场的时候，发现他们要你功夫好，同时又要你长得漂亮，又要你身材很好，又要高挑，你不能有肌肉哦。在工作的过程当中，我们听到我们俗称的客户，他们说：“哎，等一下让那个很大只的那女生，客户来的时候，请她先在空中不要落地，她的那个外貌条件不符合客户的需求。”
Faced with an oppressive work environment, Major Ling was galvanized to drive change. She took these girls by the hand, and they lifted each other up with the strength of womanhood. When she directed her graduation production, she collaborated with her female classmates and brought their own personal experiences to the stage. The performance showed how gender discrimination causes emotional harm. In a patriarchal society, women are conditioned to see themselves as the other by comparing themselves to men.
不管是我在学校，或是甚至是我踏入职场之后，最常被提醒就是要我减肥。就当你在照镜子的时候，我们看到只有缺点没有好的。我听到他10个里面9个半都说我不喜欢我自己啊，我想要拥有谁谁谁的皮肤，我想要拥有谁谁的高挑的身材，都在为自己的容貌或对自己的外在有非常严苛的条件。
In their Women's Series performances, they use their platform to talk about the challenges of being the other as Asian women. Eye-Catching Circus's Women's Series is the only all-female circus troupe in Asia. Their avant-garde nature has led to international invitations and collaborations.
女马现在就是在国际上走，最被吸引的事情就是这些女性马戏表演者所做出来的身体技术，还有她们的情绪展现。其实让国外的策展人，还有让国外的经理人，他们感受到说，哇，你们这些女性马戏表演者真的很不容易，只要一上去就可以抓住他们的眼睛。
They have performed in places like the UK, Czech Republic, and Australia, seizing these opportunities to engage with audiences from various cultures. These exchanges lead to deeper reflections on their own performances. However, in countries like Cambodia, their progressive efforts had the opposite effect. Due to the more conservative nature of Southeast Asia, the Women's Series performance was seen as fodder for the male gaze. In flesh-toned, form-fitting costumes, they confidently expressed themselves on stage, yet they attracted leering gazes and taunts from the male audience.
即使我们再怎么凶狠，哇，台下哇开始此起彼落的口哨声，因为我也是表演者，有点激怒我了。对那些吹口哨的那些的观众，跟他们对到眼神的时候，我们是非常的坚定的，然后靠近他们。哇，发现原来我们坚定对他们来说是有影响的。我们越坚定，他们甚至后来就全部人都闭嘴了。我放了一个我自我厌弃的过程，然后我是非常赤裸跟写实的放在台上。就站在那个框里面的时候，我都觉得我就很全裸，然后再接受那些凝视。每一次在那个框中的一秒，都像会把我带到我人生很不舒服的那个阶段。成长阶段的很大的一个过程中，非常的不喜欢自己，慢慢靠着表演，有点像是拯救我。
Women's Series' performers step off the stage to face the audience. The lipstick marks, initially meant to symbolize the wounds society imposes on women, are reinterpreted by the audience as smiles and hearts. Their anger and pain are knowingly embraced by the audience. The interactive nature of their performances moves not only the audience, but also heals themselves. 肖世绵 is a founding member of Women's Series. Mei Zhiling hopes that in this performance, she will incorporate more of her personal life experience and emotions.
我在一个我很自在的空间，会做什么事情？可能会在没有人看到的时候，看着 A 片，然后自慰的感觉。台面上没办法讲的事情，然后我会在这个时候就是呈现。这是我对于女性的想象，当然也有光鲜亮丽的时候，当然也有不可言说的时候。它不应该只有一个单一的模样，它不是一个模板，而是它是千变万化的。
For these performers, each performance is an exploration of the self and its potential.
他本来不是这样个性的人，他不是这么有自信的人，但是我有点像叫他越级打怪，硬要他成为这个样子。我现在就跟他说，我不管你就是要成为我心中我想成为的那个人，你要让我崇拜你。
Foot juggling is a traditional circus technique, using foot juggling props decorated with intricate patterns. However, here, the table is covered in Chinese characters, describing stereotypical labels placed on women. Using her deft skills, Xiao Simian subverts these labels by kicking them around.
我想要借由女子马戏这样的一个群体，提供一个很友善的空间。在这个空间里面，你可以尽情的做你自己，你不用感觉到任何的不安。我们都会一直在一起。
Mei Zhiling aims to create a supportive community through women's series, where women can fully express themselves without awkwardness. She wants to highlight the dualities of womanhood, being soft but still strong, aiming to lift each other up. She hopes to be a companion and supporter rather than a domineering leader. At the 2024 Cultural Olympiad press conference, distinguished performers have gathered in Taipei, including Li Shiyang, the leader of Eye-Catching Circus.
欢迎我们敬爱的副总统肖美琴入场，欢迎肖副总统。大家伸长您的手臂，比出 V， 然后找到旁边的好朋友，跟他连。台湾第一次筹组这么大规模的国家团队参与文化奥运。那演出者跟艺术家不但有台湾团队必有的灵活性以及创意，更各自的展现专才，充分的展现台湾正在全球共享多元、民主、自由及平等的普世价值。
In 2016, Tsai Ing-wen became the first female president in the Chinese-speaking world. Under her leadership, Taiwan made great strides in terms of feminism and gender equality. Vice President Xiao Meiqing has taken up her mantle. In the past, when Taiwan was mentioned in global media, the conversation was always related to China. Taiwan was rarely mentioned on her own terms. Taiwan was once regarded as the other. Nevertheless, she persisted and has now surpassed her own limitations. This country, which champions diversity and democracy, has become a beacon of shared values on the international stage. In southern Taiwan's city of Kaohsiung, Ni Li gathers her team at a temple to pray for a safe and successful journey. Their destination? The Cultural Olympiad in Paris, where they will showcase their groundbreaking performance. Go-Go Machine Orchestra blends marimba, piano, synthesizer, electric guitar, and jazz drums, creating a unique blend of classical and electronic music. Their minimalist, gradual, and repetitive compositions paired with symbolic visual projections consistently offer audiences a deeply immersive, soul-searching experience. This is a modular synthesizer. The oscillator generates electronic waves that produce sound.
它这个原本我就是用个打击乐的声音，然后它听起来是这样，原本的声音。我把这个声音过了一个 granulator， 然后它就会变成这样子，然后再调整一些参数，它听起来的流速就会不太一样。所以我现在全部都是用硬体做出来的。
The complexity of modular synthesizers demands a solid understanding of electronics and digital signals, a challenge Pin Xing has embraced.
我 从以前就是学钢琴，那学钢琴的思维是你只要看着谱你就弹，对，那个是一个这样的训练，是你看着它弹是训练反应力，但是你玩模组的时候，你是要去想你要怎么接，才可以做出不一样的声音，你要怎么去思考它走的方向，电流走的方向。这是完全对我而言是一个我没有训练过的脑袋的领域，因为我以前数学跟物理是完全都放弃的，对，所以遇到了这个东西之后啊，我就开始要把我从来没有被开发的大脑打开。
Ping Xing takes painstaking efforts to learn the synthesizer, showing tireless dedication to mastering her instrument, establishing herself as the indispensable melodic muse of Go-Go Machine Orchestra. The harmonious fusion of classical and electronic music has allowed them to go across the world without barriers.
我们有接收到很多的回馈，因为大家没有看过这样子的组合，即使是在独立乐团、古典音乐、流行乐团都没有古典钢琴，特别是 marimba， 就是木琴，然后合成器。所以每一次出去的那种回馈，我们都会觉得，好像我们走对路了，好像这就是一条不一样的路。
Ni Li and Ping Xing, the founding members of Go-Go Machine Orchestra, began their journey over a decade ago, working closely as partners in dueling piano performances. Both were steeped in classical training from a young age. Yet they were nurturing a shared dream. Rebellion against classical piano, which led them into the world of electronic music and the formation of their band. In 2024, as the Cultural Olympiad unfolds in Paris, Ni Li and Ping Xing are leading the Go-Go Machine Orchestra to the forefront of international acclaim. This avant-garde fusion of classical and electronic music has opened doors for their band members to tour the globe, crossing borders and bridging cultures.
李毅老师他就是担任那个领头羊的角色，对啊，带领大家把这些可能不可能任务就把它完成这样子。
我真的没有想过说弹吉他有一天可以弹到代表国家飞出去，这是我从来没有想过的一件事情。
We are from Kaohsiung, Kaohsiung in Taiwan.
Historically, within a traditionally patriarchal Taiwanese society, women were often marginalized, treated as the other. But as contemporary values embrace diversity, more and more groups like Eye-Catching Circus Women's Series and Go-Go Machine Orchestra are led by extraordinary women who shine on the global stage. This is not merely an artistic transformation. It is a broader cultural shift. Taiwan is moving from a position of being the other to taking charge of her own narrative. As the world increasingly values diversity and shuns autocratic leanings, voices once suppressed are now resonating more powerfully than ever before.